wonderful? Guys, so today's video is going to be all about my autumn perfumes, my favorite perfumes for the fall season. And this is one of my favorite seasons, you know, because I feel like during the winter months, or when the weather changes and becomes cooler, I have a chance to wear my favorite perfumes and my favorite types of blends. And the notes that I love are warm, rich, sweet gourmands and woods. When I think of oriental fragrances, I just link that to the autumn and then also to the winter periods as well. So I've got lots of fragrances to show you, but first, my darlings, you know me, and what am I going to show you first? I'm going to show you my favorite autumn tea. Now, this blend is a beautiful blend by Harrods, and this is a loose leaf tea, and this contains rooibos tea. And oh my gosh, ooh, I love this. I love this tea, this wonderful tea that I have. And if you can smell the aroma from this tea, it just reminds you of a lot of the fragrances that I have. You've got rich caramels, you've got vanilla in here, very similar to my perfume collection, and it's just so warming. So that's the leaves in there. It looks like that, and I'm going to show you a close-up as well. If you can see the beautiful blend there, that's a gorgeous tea. So this is one of my favorite teas, and I've been drinking this tea every single autumn. Every time the weather changes, every time we head into the fall season, I pick up this beautiful canister filled with this golden rich caramel blend of tea by Harrods, and it's just gorgeous. So in this tea we have a warming blend of rooibos enhanced with ginger, apple and some cinnamon. Now that's sounding a lot like my perfume collection here, which I'm going to show you in 1 second. So this is absolutely beautiful if you're looking for that tea. Now, my darlings, this is the beautiful rich liqueur. This blend is just perfect for the autumn time, and it's rich and it's got some caramel chocolatey notes. I'm going to see what else we have in here. Do we have some chocolate? Yes, we do. We have some cinnamon, we have some cocoa, and we have roasted almonds. So this is just perfect for the fall periods. So my darlings, let's start this video. So like I said, I'm going to be focusing on my favorite perfumes for autumn, and this is going to be a big collection here. I think I have around 9 to 10 perfumes to show you. So what I've done, I've sort of like broken it down into a few subcategories. So I've got a few daytime fragrances, perfumes that I've matched that would suit the daytime, and then also I've got a few evenings, and then I've just got some fragrances that will just match anytime during the fall period. So this is my favorite daytime scent, you guys, and that's my Belle de Freak. This perfume has been a favorite of mine. It's almost like a go-to daytime scent, and what I love about this fragrance is that I feel like you can wear this perfume anytime during the year. It's one of those fragrances you can wear in the summer, in the spring, and then also in the cooler months. But there's something about this, I just find it suits the cooler weather better. But this is such an ideal perfume to wear in the daytime. It's quite fresh and pretty. I don't know, it's just such a beautiful scent. I love it so much. In the top notes we have some bergamot, some lemon, neroli, we have some African marigold, and then in the heart notes we have some violet, jasmine and cyclamen, and then in the base notes we have some black amber, some musk, some vetiver and some Moroccan cedarwood. Now this perfume is, like I said earlier, it's quite fresh, but it's got some warm notes in there as well. I think that could be like from the jasmine. It's quite, almost a little bit spicy, but it's such an elegant fragrance to wear. And this fragrance It's liked by most people. I feel like this is a safe blind buy if you like a little bit of the florals in here, you like those citrus notes, the refreshing bergamot and lemon. We have some musk and amber in here as well, and this sort of on the dry down, it sort of warms up as well. And it just suits the skin very well. I do get quite a few hours wear in this fragrance. I would say anything between maybe 5 to 7 hours wear in this fragrance, and that's on my skin. So this is just such a wonderful fragrance. So that's like my #1 for autumn. I'm so excited to wear this. So that's my Belle de Freak. So this is my Intense Cafe. Now, I love this fragrance for the autumn time because it has that rich, intense coffee note. We've got coffee and vanilla in here. And there's something that I sort of link coffee to with the autumn. I just feel like coffee, and it just reminds you of like cozy nights in, and you know, you're making lattes for your friends, or you're making really nice coffee blends. This perfume is so gorgeous. On the opening for this fragrance, as soon as you spray this perfume, you get that rich, intense coffee fragrance and a bit of vanilla. But then it does dry down to just rose and vanilla. The coffee scent starts to evaporate anyway. So if you like coffee but you are not so keen on a long-lasting coffee note, then you should be fine with this. So the notes in this lovely perfume is coffee bean and rose, and then we have some vanilla and musk in this fragrance also. It's very creamy, nutty. It's quite easy to wear. When I first bought this perfume, I found it quite almost like too intimidating to wear in the daytime and too strong, too bold. But when this dries down, it's absolutely fine, and that coffee note isn't lasting very long as well. So this is quite safe to wear in the daytime, and I do get my coffee fix from this perfume. Oh, it just reminds me of the holidays. It reminds me of September bonfire night. It's just warming, creamy and nutty. Oh, it's beautiful. And then you've got that hit of rose. The rose is quite powerful in here, but it's so beautifully blended. I love this fragrance. So that's my Intense Cafe. So my next perfume that I'm going to recommend for the daytime would be my Poison Girl. Now this is by Christian Dior, and this lovely fragrance is very feminine. It is quite sweet as well. I feel like this perfume can be worn by all ages. Even though it says Poison Girl, I feel like when I first got into this perfume, I was put off by that. I felt like it was going to come across very like extremely young, but it's not at all. It's really pretty. So in this fragrance, I'll go through the notes with you. We have bitter orange, we have May Rose, we have damask rose, and then we have some tonka bean and vanilla. And the vanilla is very strong in here. But the way that it's blended, it's just such a pretty vanilla. I wouldn't say, I mean, I would describe this as a gourmand fragrance. It's not too overwhelming, and it's not too dessert-like. But it's very like grown up. I could wear this easy in the day. I feel like it does suit the evenings very well. It's a perfect date night perfume. Most people, you know, whenever you wear this fragrance, people just love it. Guys love this fragrance as well. So I do recommend you try this more like for the date nights as well as the day. But either way, again, it's like my Byredo fragrance. You can wear this day, evening, date night, whenever. It's just a perfect perfume. I'm ranking this fragrance sort of like in the middle, so you can wear it either in the daytime if you prefer, or you can wear it in the evenings. And this fragrance is fairly new to my collection. It's about a month old, and it's just such a gorgeous fragrance. So let me show you this one here. Now, this perfume that I have is my Narciso, and this is the Poudre. Now this wonderful perfume is just extremely soft, powdery. It reminds me of silk pillows. It reminds me of a cashmere jumper. It reminds me of fluff. It reminds me of the autumn because it just smells fairly cozy. It smells like, you know, a very soft blanket you can just wrap around you in the evenings, and it's floral. It's fairly sweet as well, not gourmand sweet, but like a petal sweetness. And just looking, you know, at the bottle alone, you can just tell exactly how this fragrance smells. You know, just as you see it, you've got this soft sort of ombre design, and it's like a soft creamy petal color, and that you can just tell it smells delicate, and that's how I would describe this perfume. It's very long lasting, and I do receive a lot of compliments with this fragrance as well. In this fragrance we have jasmine petals, we have white Bulgarian rose, we have powdery musk in the heart, and in the base we have vetiver and we have some white cedar. And like I said, you really do get the musk in here, you do get the powdery tones and the jasmine. It's really elegant. I just feel like it just smells cozy and soft and delicate, and I love this fragrance. So that's my poudre. So next, my darlings, we are gonna go into my evening fragrances. Now I have to say, the fragrances that I'm going to show you next has rich, warming, spicy notes, and I just find it perfect for the autumn. It's almost like my tea here. It's got the same sort of rich amber color, and the very first one I'm going to show you matches my tea. So I'm going to show you that. First I'm going to have some tea. Oh, and if you are a tea lover like myself, then definitely subscribe. Actually, I'm just going to wait for you to subscribe whilst I enjoy my tea. Grand Soir is a rich perfume. This fragrance is just a burst of sweet vanilla, and it is very warming. It smells expensive. When I say expensive, guys, honestly, this just smells like you have a very heavy purse or bank account, I don't know. It smells so rich, it's gorgeous. The notes are vanilla, amber accord, we have some benzoin, we have some tonka bean, and we have also labandum. It's one of those fragrances, I feel like this would suit the evenings, perfect for date nights. You know, you're going to an exclusive restaurant or an exclusive event, this is something you would wear. This is like so dressed up. I have to say, this fragrance, I haven't really worn it very often. That's my Grand Soir by Maison Francis Kurt de Jean, and this perfume is just wonderful. I just love this fragrance. Gorgeous. Now when I think of an evening fragrance, I think of a fragrance that's going to match a gown, something that is, it smells a bit, you know, spectacular and fancy. You smell dressed up, it's a bit deep, a little bit mysterious. And the only fragrance I can think of that would suit a ball gown or an evening dress or something quite fancy is this wonderful fragrance by Goutal. This fragrance I have here is Tenue de Soirée, and this is a wonderful fragrance for those evenings out when you're dressed up and you're going to an event or you're going to a gala or a charity ball. I would suggest wearing something like this. It's extremely elegant and feminine. It's a crowd pleaser, and you're going to have people asking you about this fragrance because I find it unique, but then it does remind me of other fragrances at the same time, if that makes sense. It's like when you smell it, it's not something I would have smelt recently, but it's something I may have smelt in the past. And this fragrance is just gorgeous. It's very elegant and very dressed up, a bit more fabulous, I would say. And I think you can tell by the bottle, but it's such a pretty bottle there. So the notes in this perfume, we have red fruits, we have some iris patchouli, amber, and we've got some leather in here as well. This fragrance just reminds me of the evenings. It's very dressed up. It's a sort of bold statement type of perfume as well, but this just suits the autumn period. It's just a perfect perfume for the fall season, and it's just gorgeous. You do get a bit of leather, a little bit of like leather in here, like a soft leather, and you do get some blackcurrant in here as well. But the patchouli, I get a lot of patchouli and iris. The iris, I think, is the leader in this fragrance here, but very dressed up, very elegant. So this is one of my top evening fragrances for the autumn. You can hear the jewelry clicking on my little bottle there. Now this fragrance here that I have to show you is another favorite of mine, and I'm sure you all know how much I love rose. Like, I have so many notes that I love, but rose is a note that I love. I love amber, I love vanilla, I do like a bit of sandalwood, but it has to be blended in the right way. I love ouds. Those are my types of scents. I love orientals, and autumn is the time where it's so easy to wear these bold, rich fragrances. Now, when it comes to rose, this is one of my favorite blends. It's Oud Satin Mood by Maison Francis Kirk de Jean. This is an MFK fragrance, and it's just so elegant, it's so dressed up. Now I have to say, when I first bought this perfume, I restricted this fragrance to only like after 8 p.m. You know, you can't wear this in the daytime. It's a definite evening dressy scent, but I've grown to appreciate the notes in this even more so, where I feel more confident to wear it in the day. I would still say that it is quite powerful. It radiates very well, it's very long lasting, very long wearing, and it's fairly bold, but in a sweet, delicate way. It's very elegant, very classy, a bit mysterious as well. But I don't mind wearing this in the daytime. But if I had to choose, I would still wear this in the evenings. There is a tiny hint of smoke, but it's so ever so subtle. I wouldn't describe this at all as a smoky oud scent. This is definitely a sweet, warm, woody, rich note. But you do get a tiny hint of like a smoky note. It's ever so slight and subtle. So on the opening you might get a little bit of it, but it dries down to the sweetest vanilla, to the sweetest oud you can imagine. It's just beautiful. So the notes in here, we have some violet in the top note, and then we have some oud, Bulgarian rose, Turkish rose, and then in the base we have some vanilla and amber. This is a beautiful fragrance for the evenings. So another fragrance that I love for the autumn, and this is like another evening dressed up type of scent, and this is my Chanel. This is my Coco Noir, and this fragrance is a little bit brighter, but it has some depth to it as well. It's quite deep and rich, and this fragrance we do have, I'll read the notes for you. We have some grapefruit, bergamot, we have rose, jasmine, we have some patchouli, we also have sandalwood, tonka bean and white musk. Now this fragrance for me, I do get a little bit of that citrus in the opening. I do get the grapefruit and the bergamot, and then I do get a lot of jasmine rose in the heart of this as well. And then on the dry down, I would say I get more of the sandalwood. It's quite warm and woody, and this just suits the you know, the evenings of the winter period. This is like cool weather, safe. This is something you would want to wear you know, during the autumn months, and it's a perfect night out fragrance, but then you do get that citrus in there as well. So it's a little bit refreshing with the bergamot in here and the grapefruit, but I think it's more of a warmer note. it's a bit warm. You've got that jasmine in there. It's a bit rich, and this is just wonderful for date night. I have 3 more perfumes for you. And oh my gosh, my darlings, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. I would love to have you join my new family that I'm building here on YouTube. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and leave a comment down below and let me know what's your favorite fragrance for autumn, because I am on a hunt to find and experience new perfumes. There are so many different perfumes out there, and sometimes it's impossible to try them all at one time, but if they've been recommended, then I'm heading straight to the store and I'm going to try them. And one of the fragrances that was recommended to me by a really close friend of mine is the next one I'm going to show you, and it's this one here, and this is my Jo Malone, and this is my Velvet Rose and Oud. Now this fragrance is a perfume that I find extremely elegant, classy. It's beautiful. You have the rose in here, and it's like an intense honeyed rose. It's very sweet, and it's just really pretty how it's blended with the oud. Now this is a fragrance that I think you can wear either in the daytime or in the evenings during the fall, during the autumn season. I think you can wear this easily. This beautiful perfume can just light up the room. I just love this. I can wear this easily in the daytime or the evenings. It's very pretty, very honeyed, very sweet, gorgeous. Now the notes in this perfume, we have clove as a top note, we have damask rose, and then on the base we have oud. So that's my gorgeous Velvet Rose and Oud. So this fragrance I have here is my Eau Joelle. Now this fragrance I've been wearing for about maybe the last 5 years. I've been wearing this fragrance in the winter periods, in the autumn and fall, and this fragrance has this sweet woody vanilla note, and I like this perfume so much because it reminds me of so many different things, and it just reminds me, to me it smells a little bit tropical. It reminds me of a tropical island. There's a note in here that I know we have, it just reminds me of it so much, and this is just a beautiful fragrance to wear. If you like strong, powerful vanillas that's a little bit more on the smokier, woodier side, so almost like a bit of amber and sandalwood, then this is perfect for you. In this oriental perfume we have some cardamom, we have juniper, in the heart we have some saffron in here, we also have some calamus, and then on the base of this wonderful perfume we have vanilla, black tea and amber. No wonder I like it. There's some tea in here, guys. You know how I feel about tea. This is a fragrance, to me, defines the autumn. So this has been sitting in my house since the beginning of the year and I haven't had a chance to wear it. So I'm excited to try it, and that's my Penhaligon's Loath Hair. So that's my Loath Hair, and this fragrance is the EDT version. And this perfume, I would say that it is a unisex scent. When I first tried this perfume, all I can detect was fig, lots of fig, and I love fig. I absolutely love fig fragrances. And I do get ambergris, and I love ambergris, I love fig. So this is a winner. But when I first tried this fragrance, to me, this was a woman's fragrance. You know, I thought this was very feminine, very, very, very feminine. But then now that I've had it for even longer, to me, I'm getting more of a unisex scent. And it's funny because now this to me smells like an expensive aftershave. We have some red berries, we have juniper berry, we have cardamom, bergamot, we have grapefruit and fig leaf. So all of those notes, that's in like the head note, in the top note. And then in the heart we have fig milk, lavender, magnolia, geranium and black tea. Again, we have more tea in my fragrance collection. And then in the base we have some vanilla, we have some musk, cedarwood, the ambergris, oak moss and wenge. Lovely fragrance. I feel like it's easy to wear daytimes and evenings. I think for myself personally, I would wear this more in the evening, but that's a gorgeous perfume there. So that's my Lothar. I think it would be great to do like my whole perfume collection, like my entire perfume collection in one video, but that would be really long. So let me know, do you like long videos, or would you like me to do a mixture of different things? So just leave whatever you like in the comment section below. If you would like to request anything, let me know and I will film that for you. So my darlings, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye. No, hold on. Labanum. I'm gonna cut that out.